Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video we're going to show you how to change out the Whirlpool dryer thrust washer. It's going to be a very easy repair and should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new thrust washer. The thrust washer is located on the idler pulley shaft. The main reason you'll be changing it out is if it's lost or damaged, causing the idler pulley wheel to bump up against the bracket, making a squeaking noise. In order to get to the part, we have to take the dryer apart. We're going to use our 1/4-inch nut driver to take the screws out that hold the top of the dryer on. Now that you have the screws out, we can lift the top off the dryer. To get the top off, all you have to do is pull it back, lift it off the top of the dryer, and set it aside. With the top out of the way, we can remove these 3 screws that hold this panel in. It has the control board on the back. Once we get it out, we have to disconnect the wires. With the screws out, we can carefully lift it up and rotate it over so we can disconnect the wires that go to the control panel. We're going to take off the door switch wiring harness and the 2 ribbon cables. We're going to use our small flathead screwdriver to help take the door switch wire harness apart. All you have to do is release it and pull it apart. Then we can reach in and release these tabs and carefully pull the ribbon cables off the control board. Once you have both ribbon cables off the board, we're just going to set this assembly back down and take the rest of the dryer apart. Now we can take off the front control panel. We're going to take off the 2 1/4-inch screws. There's 1 on each end. Once you have the second screw removed, we have to release some tabs that hold the control panel in on each side. So we're going to open up the door and just kind of push up right here to release them. Once you get one side done, you can do the other one. Once you have both sides released, you can close the door real quick, and then we can lift the console off the dryer. Now that we have the control panel out of the way, we're going to lift this control board assembly up and swing it off to the side of the dryer. You can set it on the edge of the cabinet. Just be careful you don't damage the control board. Now we can take off the lower access panel. We're going to use our 1/4-inch nut driver to take out the screws. Once you have the screws out, you can carefully lower the panel down and pull it away from the dryer. With the access panel out of the way, we're going to take off this bracket that holds the lint screen housing to the blower housing, and we have to disconnect the moisture sensor wiring harness. We're going to use our 1/4-inch nut driver to take off the bracket. Once you have the bracket off, you can use a small flathead screwdriver to release these clips so we can unplug the moisture sensor wiring harness. Once you have the wire harness disconnected, you can stick the other end out of the way. Now we can use a 1/4-inch nut driver to remove the 2 screws that hold the bottom of the main panel on. There's 1 on each side. We're going to take them out. Now we can remove the screws on the top. They're located on the back side of the panel. We're going to use the 1/4-inch nut driver to take them out. Then we can loosen up the 2 screws on the front panel that hold it on. We don't have to take these all the way out. Just loosen them up so we can lift the front panel off. we can reach in and take the belt off the pulleys. We want to grab the idler pulley and pull it towards the outside of the machine so we can take the belt off. Now we can use the belt to lift the drum up and guide it out of the dryer. Once you have it out, you can set it aside. Now that we have the drum out of the way, we can get to the thrust washer. It's located behind the idler wheel. So we're going to use a small flathead screwdriver to take off this little triangle retaining clip. All you have to do is pop it off. And then we can pull off the idler wheel itself. Usually when you're changing this thrust washer, you want to check the idler wheel too, just in case it's worn out and needs to be replaced. Once you have it out of the way, you can get behind the thrust washer with our screwdriver, and then we can pull it off. Here's the old thrust washer next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at appliancepartspros.com. To put the new thrust washer on, all you have to do is line it up and slip it on the axle. Then you can put the idler wheel on. Then we can put the retaining clip back on. All you have to do is kind of stretch it over the axle and fit it into the groove. Once you have it in place and the idler pulley is secure, we can put the dryer back together. Now that we have the part installed, we can use the belt to guide the drum back into the dryer. You want to make sure that the back half of it sits on the support rollers. Once you have it in place, you can let the belt drop down, and you want to make sure that the ribs are against the drum so that when we route it through the pulleys, it goes correctly. Same as when we took it off, you want to reach in and grab the idler pulley and take it towards the outside of the machine and route the belt through the pulleys. Now we can put the front panel on. We're going to carefully line it up with the blower housing and lift it up and hang it on these screws that we left here a few minutes ago. Now that you have the front panel mounted, we can use our 1/4 inch nut driver to tighten down these screws. Now we can put in the 2 screws that came from the back side. Now we can use a 1/4 inch nut driver to put in the 2 screws that hold the front panel to the cabinet. Once you have those 2 secure, we can reach in and grab the wiring harness and reconnect it to the moisture sensor. All you have to do is match up the 2 ends and push them together so you get a good connection. Then we can put in the holding bracket. In order to put the lower bracket and screw in, we're going to put it together out here and then feed it back in and tighten it down. To put the access panel back on, we're going to lift it up into place and use our 1/4 inch nut driver to put the screws in to hold it in place. Now we can put the console on. You want to make sure when you lower it down that this tab right here goes in the opening of the cabinet on both sides. Once you lower it down into place, we can use our 1/4 inch nut driver to put the screws in. Now that we have the control panel mounted, we can hook up the wiring harnesses and put the control board in. To reconnect the wiring harnesses, we're going to carefully grab the control board assembly and rotate it over and set it down inside the dryer. We can reach in and grab the door switch wiring harness. There's only one way to connect it, so line it up and lock it together so you get a good connection. Then we can grab the ribbon wire harnesses. The small one goes on the top. All you have to do is carefully grab it and push it into the board. When you push these down, you want to be careful. Press them down so they lock into place. Once you have the small one in place, we can do the big one. Once you have both the ribbon cables in, we can rotate the control board assembly up so we can use our 1/4 inch nut driver and put the screws back in. Now that we have the control board mounted, we can put the top back on the dryer. When you put the top back on and slide it forward, you want to make sure that this tab goes underneath this little bracket. To put the top on, you want to set it down a little bit behind those tabs and then push it forward so they lock into place. Once you have it pushed all the way forward, you can use our 1/4-inch nut driver to put in the 3 screws that hold it in. Now that we have the dryer put back together, you can plug it back in and take it for a spin. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.